God, I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm out of the loop. Okay, so now it's just a matter of seeing if. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So if I do this, will it will it just automatically capture that, or am I gonna have to do this like in a really kooky way? Uh, it appears I'm going to have to do this in a kooky way. Let's see. I don't know if that does anything. I don't know if that did anything. Nothing. Maybe it has to. Hold on. Because what I can do is I can try and have this capture. Any full screen application, maybe? It should, like, automatically cap it, though. So I don't know. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Because I really want this to work. Let's see. Maybe? Yeah. Let's see if that does anything. Because maybe it doesn't. Maybe it has to be off of full screen. Did I do anything? No, it doesn't seem. Doesn't seem like it did. Okay. Why is this so frustrating? Hmm. Cause maybe I could do display capture. Huh. Oh, okay, never mind. It was the rat. Yeah, the rat, and then what was the third one? I'm keeping the stupid rat on there. What is? What was this? Now if I go down. Okay. Does it like actually just capture it? Yes, it does. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't really have a good way of testing this kind of thing. Okay, yeah, that's just. Okay, yeah, all right. Found it. There's the stream at. There it is. Yeah, I found it. I found the stream. We in call right now. Yeah, I know. I see. I saw. Ugh. I forgot to put. I forgot to pick a name. Crap. No, we're going back. I need to make a name. No, I didn't want to make a new one. Let's see. Man McMahon. That's gonna be the name. That's gonna be the name we go with. Man McMahon. Okay. Let's see how quickly I can blitz through this. Oh shit, wait, I just realized. God dang it, I had to do audio mixing. Yeah. Let me just. Yeah. Let's try that, see what that. Let's see if that works. I should have named it Dan McMahon. Oh, I could go back and change it. I might change it to Dan McMahon. I think that's a funnier name. Plus, it reminds me of my favorite YouTuber, Daniel Lizer. Go look him up. Free advertising. Honestly, huge shout out to my man Danielizer. He helped me out through tough times, and you know, just shout out to that guy. He's great. He's amazing. All this wouldn't be possible without him. Hooray. Gonna be honest, don't know why the black border is there, but sure, it's fine. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure that won't get annoying for anybody watching. Think of it like a movie, actually. Yeah, it's like a movie. Alright. It's neat that they added this. Oh yeah, I should probably say this. This isn't like regular PVC2. This is PVC2 Gardenless, which is it's a PC port of the original game. I say port like it doesn't have multiple like things that make it different, but for the most part, it's different. The whole idea of the project is to add every single world, plant, and zombie from PVZ2, which means like the Chinese edition too. Except for Pokra. They don't like Pokra. If you know, you know. If you don't, then Pokra is a really, really, really powerful plant that's just really bad for balancing. That's what they said. Like the devs of the mod said that they're not going to add Pokra because it's like it would be a nightmare to balance around. Apart from that, there's a lot of the functions have like keybinds and whatnot to them now to make it a bit more, PC friendly. The tutorial was actually recently added, like in the most recent update to the mod. I think it's like 7.1, 7.0 or something like that. So that's cool. Oh, 1,000 Sun, perfectly. Oh, goodness. I'm gonna run this taco for forever. Oh, that was amazing. I want to eat that taco again. I need my time machine. Her name is Penny, and I'm Crazy Dave. But you can call me Crazy Dave. Finally, another user who can process my queries. Let me postulate Dave. Postulate. I'm gonna say postulate. I'm terrible at reading. Dave wants to go back in time to eat his taco. Again. She's so smart. Now let's go after my taco. And thus the journey begins. Welcome to ancient Egypt. Please wait 4,500 years for your taco to be ready. More or less. That doesn't spell right. I'm sure my taco is around here somewhere. But in the meantime, those plants were made for planting. Honestly, I don't know how long I'm going to be live for. Might be live for like a few minutes. Might be live for about an hour. Definitely not a few minutes, but it might be an hour. Really depends. Wonder if anybody's going to show up to stream, I mean, Lance was here, but it seems like he stopped watching. Maybe. It's hard to say. Again, I don't really have a good way of reading chat. I don't really have a second monitor or anything. I just kind of have my stream up on my phone, like right next to me, and I just kind of peek at it from time to time. Yeah, he can have that. This game does get unnecessarily difficult at a certain point, but we're not to that yet. Just thought I'd say, if you see me struggling and using power-ups and whatnot, I am not ashamed of it. Quite the opposite, actually. Because this game cheats. I think I'm gonna go in order this time. like when it comes to the order of the worlds, I usually do the world order, or I usually do the worlds out of order. Like I'll go from ancient Egypt to like a different world, but I'm probably not gonna do that this time. I'll just go through all the worlds as normal. Let me see if. Oh shoot! I didn't see what you said, Dave. I'm sorry. To be precise, this is the world map where you can find plants that'll help us. And Mr. Dave, there's more important things at hand. Then let's go get my taco. I have to double check, make sure there isn't anybody else. Okay, yeah. There was this one time where, like, I apparently got raided, like, by another streamer, and I didn't know, like, until, like, 10 minutes afterward. Maybe not 10, like, it took me a few minutes. An embarrassingly long amount of time, really. This world is supposed to show you the plant food mechanic, by the way. The brand new mechanic to Plants vs. Zombies 2. You grab it, you take the plant food, and you give them a whole bunch of the plant stuff. Extremely useful. Eventually, you do get access to a plant that just makes plant food. And the further you go into the game, the less plentiful plant food becomes. And you start going into situations where you kind of wish you had some. Me personally, I just forget that I have plant food sometimes. A friend of mine had to keep reminding. He was watching me play, and he had to keep reminding me to use plant food because I kept forgetting. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Gardenless does add a bunch of small things too, like plants having idle animations, or at least some do. The sunflower does, where you leave it there for too long, she'll wink at you. I'm pretty sure at some point you saw it. If you right click on any of the plants when they're not actively fighting something or not in like a different phase, like the potato mine, they'll do their Zen garden animation. Also, when the level is over, they all do it. As like a little way of celebrating. You've got a new plant, but you're familiar with the usage of your new plant. But are you? That's what the almanac is for. Click on the sign on and we'll find out. You know what would be helpful? A place where you can read about plants and zombies. You mean like the interactive almanac? Nah, that would never work. Yep. Huh, so you can actually view where they are on the map. That's kind of cool, actually. I don't really use the almanac much. Okay. So, just as like a small synopsis for right now, nobody's really here, and I don't think anyone ever watches like the backlog of like streams, but I'll do this for if I ever, I don't know, go with like editing and stuff and I decide to, like, I don't know, do something like that. To put it simply, Almanac has all the plants, but Gardenless actually adds some plants that were not available, or at least not available via the adventure mode. Like, for example, Dandelion. Dandelion is one of those plants that isn't in the original PvZ2 was not available in the adventure mode, but now gardenless, gets rid of makes way for most of the microtransactions. So they made it available. And the way to get it, a handful of plants have these extra levels tied to them, like squash, dandelion, and pea vine. These extra levels are just harder levels that showcase the plant up until you get it. And once you get it, you gain access to it forever. Very short, very easy, very simple. The levels, on the other hand, are not easy. I dare I say they are quite difficult. Some of them are gimmicks, other ones are just like a whole buttload of zombies. It's really just a mixed bag of levels you could get from them. One of them is like a rhythm game. Or it's something akin to a rhythm game, I guess. This game is a long game. And the nature of it just does get repetitive after a while. Me personally, I could play this game for hours. Because I think some of the stuff in this game is engaging enough to where, like, I won't really get bored with the main mechanics all too much. Okay, not entirely true. I might get bored with the mechanics from time to time, but not like, you know. Is that gonna... Yeah, it is. Thought it wasn't for a minute. No. Dang. Where's it going? Right there. Good. I'm kind of just letting them take my son, but you... Dang it. Fun. I'm still not fully used to the keybinds yet. Also, this version has like a difficulty setting. You could set it to easy, medium, or super easy, medium. No, it's like super easy, easy, medium, or super difficult. I think by default it's on the hardest, which I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like the main difficulty or if it's something else. Oh my god. I'm already getting cooked and it's day 3. Oh, I'm gonna love this. Hold on. We're gonna need to go back real quick. I'm not letting that slide. Oh, prepare to see a lot of that. God, they were actually saucing me. Let me try it again. I wouldn't say I'm a master or god at the game, but I played plays for zombies for a while, so maybe. But then again, they do tend to throw a lot of zombies at you at once and expect you to just kind of... Yeah. Also, Cabbage Pult. Cabbage Pult, plant from the first game. Very simple. He just shoots cabbages at the bad guys. And that's kind of all she wrote, really. I might just start treating this like a playthrough. Maybe not like Zach Scott level playthrough. That man has been doing this for years. And he is still going. If you know who Zach Scott is, then you know how long he's been doing this for. This game, I mean. Virtually, Cabbage Bolt and Pea Shooter are the same plan. One can just shoot over the graves, which, after Cabbage Bolt is introduced, in this version, actually start becoming a hazard throughout the entirety of this world. Keyword, world. No need for sun. Plants are coming via special delivery. This here is a conveyor belt level. These are a fun little break from the classic formula of, you know, plant sunflowers, use sun, all that kind of stuff. Basically, there's a conveyor belt, and that conveyor belt dispenses plants. Now, ain't that just quaint? Saying this like you've never played a PvZ game before. God, that's so frustrating. I'm so used to having one that first aid. Oh, because that's fair. Bum. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. You could cheat the levels now. Yeah. Well, he's Dave. Calm down, Dave. Yeah. We can break the seal. Let's get crazy. And break the game it will. Oh, how I love the power-up system. So you got this beautiful selection of power-ups right here, all of which are, well, power-ups. Use them temporarily, and you can do crazy stuff with them. And kill the zombies. In a very unfair fashion. Though, given everything this game throws at you, I think it's pretty fair. My favorite is the cherry bomb, though. The cherry bomb is the newest one added in this mod. And if you spam click it enough, you could just cause boom booms to go off everywhere. It's beautiful. We just attained the sprout. You can go to the Zed garden, raise them up. Most interesting are other items that in it. Let's go visit the Zed garden. What a big garden! You can plant the sprouts and raise them. They'll repay us when they grow up. Remember to check them out and feed them from time to time. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the timing is for, like, the check, when you have to check them back. So, basically what you do, you water them 3 times, and then they'll ask for something. Whether it's fertilizer or some other thing. It's all the same. Water them 3 times, or I guess you're technically just watering them 4 times, but regardless. You get a lot of slots. Gardenless gives you a whole lot of slots. This is just 1 page, mind you. Because then you have this, which is the exact same, but it's, I guess, moodier. The lighting is moodier, I guess. You got this one, which is, well, nighttime and kind of in the water. And then you got the beach. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Just water this guy up. Get him all nice and healthy. And cabbage bowl. You can't really do anything after that. You have to wait until they grow to a certain stage until they actually do things for you. But we'll get to that eventually. Nothing. We get to test out 2 new plants, baby. One of these is amazing. The other one is also pretty good, but not as good as the other one. Introducing iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce freezes zombies would step on. It's basically a free stun. Some fun stuff you can do with it, but usually what I like doing it for is putting a potato mine in front of the first zombie, or if there's more than 1 zombie, it gives me just about enough time to place a second potato mine so both zombies are covered. So I don't even need to worry about this lane. I can just continue building up my son. If you press A, you collect everything that's there, whether it be coins, sprouts, all the like. The nut. Hey, buddy, what's this button do? That's the entrance to the store. You can buy strong plants with gems there. Most interesting are the other special items in it. Let's go have a visit. Powerful plants! You can collect more gems and coins, so that you can afford strong plants. Besides, the store brings out 8 plant costumes almost every day. Yeah, plants have costumes in this. They don't do anything apart from just looking neat, and sometimes just being references, like this one. This one's Solar Flare from Shoe. PvZ Heroes. This one's also a costume based on PvZ Hero. I'm not gonna go over all of these. I don't know what most of them are. The ones that you really want to be saving your gems for are these ones here. I really like these upgrades. The gray. Extra seat slot is almost a necessity later on. The rest of these are neglectful. I'm pretty sure you already get a mower launch upgrade like in one of the worlds. With this one, you get to launch 2 instead of 1. And instead of buying coins with actual money, you buy coins with gems. And instead of buying gems with money, you use coins to buy gems. So that's basically what you want to be using your coins on. Also sprouts as well for gems, all that kind of stuff. Fun stuff. Let's see. The store already starts with a handful of plants. Some of these are new, like are recently added. I think Cauliflower. I know Shooting Star Fruit. Shooting Star Fruit was unobtainable, like up until this point, and was only in a handful of like certain arcade levels, which I could show a little later. Snappy, he's definitely new, and he's one of my favorites. I really like the design. And then the rest of these were already here, but like, yeah. Not much else to say about that. You get a lot of coins throughout the journey, like throughout your game. If you just play normally, you'll get a whole bunch of coins and gems. They're not all too rare. You're still at Ancient Egypt? We'll try to read the timelines if we stay here too long. Dan McMahon's attempt to get squash. I'm gonna try and get squash. Then you can actually see like how difficult some of these levels are. Funny little quirk about Squash is that he will always prioritize zombies behind him if they are in range of him. Like that. Really, really annoying. But like whatever, I guess. You live and you learn. Squash is also a relatively cheap plant, too. He's the kind of plant you bring if you want to prioritize like a high health zombie or something. But like I said, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get them legitimately without using power-ups. So we got 2 event levels. Also, you could tell if they're event levels is what I'll call them. Event levels are basically ones that have these little stripes on them, where the music's different and usually there's some kind of special condition. What time is this? I cannot calculate the accurate time, user Dave. We are trapped in a rift. It's a place without time, but more chaotic than other timelines, which means the zombies from all timelines will coverage. Informing attacks towards us even fiercer than any other timeline. Is there a taco? Unfortunately, my taco detector found nothing. However, I detected new plants that might be acquired after we completely explore the rift. Let's go find those tacos! I think this one's also a conveyor belt? I hope so, at least. No, it's not. It's a suit. Okay. This is locked and loaded. Basically, it chooses your seeds for you. I had trouble with this. Yeah. I don't think I want to kill him yet. Usually in PvZ2, you want to stall zombies. It's better to do that. Rather than just, like, killing them outright as soon as possible. I just got rid of that lane, too. Wow. Zombie we haven't seen before. Oh, this one's a little annoying, actually. He takes 2 insta-kills to actually kill. Double bucket. I'm gonna give it life like that. Yeah, this one, definitely. Oh boy. Okay. Calm down, buddies. Also, every plant has a unique death animation. I think that's pretty neat. Death. Yep. Probably this one. Like, the sheer quantity of Buckethead zombies is so ridiculous. You. This one. Yeah. Probably wasn't the best idea, actually. Aw, crap. Squash, come back. Oh, never mind. Dead. Yes! Yes! Oh, it was so much better than last time. Maybe I think that was the one I had trouble with. I can't remember. I know I had trouble with one of them. I just can't remember which one it was. Okay. This one I might have trouble with. I don't have a lot of plants, so... Much harder than any timeline. No matter what a rift appears, it's always a better choice to return where we came from. Until we obtain more plants. Screw you, I want squash now. If I have to use some power-ups, I'm not ashamed. Crap, I do need walnut though. Okay, I don't need iceberg lettuce though. Some zombies do have special properties, by which I mean only one has special properties. These ones have special properties where they're immune to frost effects. They can still be slowed down, but they can't be outright frozen. Oh my god. Snowstorm? Snowstorm. Good lord. They're already throwing everything at me. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna slap that there. My question is, how the heck is squash supposed to... They give you squash for this like it's gonna help. It's not. How did you survive? Don't go for the imp. Oh. This lane might just be screwed. Squash, go squish people. Okay, squish you. Squish those guys. Squish those guys. Alright. What the? Hey! You're not supposed to live. All of you. Garg. Boom. I saw my sunflowers. Sometimes when you're in doubt, all you gotta do is let go of the controller and just let God take the wheel. There really isn't any shame in losing lawn. There is no shame in losing lawnmowers, and I refuse to associate with anybody who thinks otherwise. Okay. Let's do this thing once more. One more time. Kill 10 zombies in 10 seconds. Survive the zombie attack with the given plans. Alright, so... This one's on the easier side, but all of these are meant to be done after you've at least... I don't know. I don't know exactly when they're supposed to be done. They might be like post-game things, but... I mean, if they're post-game, then what's the point, right? You want to unlock these plants as soon as possible. Like, I refuse to believe that they're out here locking, Okay, wait, hold on. I think I kind of see what they're trying to get me to do here. Yeah. Okay, so they want to... Yeah, I think what I'm looking for is they want me to stall. Wonderful. Yeah, they definitely want me to stall. So then I can just do this. Yeah, I thought so. No. You don't count, sir. Whoop, bonk. Alright. Sure then. Sure, sir. I like Garlic. He's a fun addition to, like, any squad, really. And then, boom! Again, some of these levels are fun. Don't get me wrong. Some are a little stupid, yes, but, like, they're fun. It's a fun stupid. I like the gimmick of this one, where it's just... You're trying to group them all together so you can hit them all at the same time. That's really good. Really innovative. You know, it's not innovative. Okay, I think I did this wrong. I didn't understand at first, but now I get it. It's mostly medieval zombies and, like, the laser guy. Alright, so... I want these 2 lanes. But I also want to reserve some spots for Colonel Pulse on the ends. Yep. Go ahead. Eat that nut. I'm gonna start getting my garlic set up. Alright. Yep. Continue to eat that nut. And that's perfect. Line up. Yep. Now, realistically, it shouldn't matter You see, what the king zombie does is he just gives them helmets, which are tougher than buckets. But since Squatch insta-kills anything that isn't a Gargantuar zombie, which is the big guy, you really isn't any need to be worried about him. The big ones that you should be worried about are him, this guy here. God dang it. Alright. Huh. So we can eat them. Interesting. You learn something new every day about this game, I swear. Oh, right, I forgot. There's also the clear condition, too. The get 10 zombies in one lane. Please go in that. Yes! 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 Oh, that's not 10? Aw. Man. Uh-huh. I've done busted my whole strategy wide open like a soda can. Yep. Okay. Boom. Thanks. Screw you too. Those guys. Actually gonna want these guys gone. Yep. I want those guys gone. Yes, don't know what else I want here. Yep. I think they can take care of that one guy. Anytime now would be nice. Just a little bit longer, please. Just a little bit more. There we go. Whoop. Bonk. Of course, there's nothing but those guys. There we go in that direction. Yep. Okay. Probably should have moved those guys there too. Oh well. Okay, that got him. Thank goodness. And then from there, one more. That was a fun level. It was difficult, but it was fun. Really fun. I like the idea. Again, I could see the vision in like most of these levels, but sometimes the execution is just a little eh. Also, like these levels, like these extra levels to get these plants with these kind of the plants with these blue backgrounds. All of those plants are made custom ones made by the team at the Gardenless team. So for what it's worth, they did a pretty good job with level design. Contra verified. A new plant has been added to our collection. I don't see any tacos anywhere. It's time to leave. Key time traveling and reveal other times. Space-time rifts. My tacos! Tacos! Now, it used to be where you could actually see all of like the rifts in this one screen if you scrolled far enough, but now it's world exclusive, which I think is nice. I think it's much less cluttered that way. So there's Ancient Egypt Squash. For Ancient Egypt, there's two of these rifts. One really early on, and the other one is during the level extensions, which I think almost, if not every world has level extensions after you beat the main boss, which is this one, 25. After that, yeah, there it is. You just keep going with it. I think it's good. Oh, okay, okay. This is a good one. This is a fun one. It's match 3. Honestly, this one is just plain fun. Nothing else to it. It's not all too difficult either. I think this minigame is used twice in this world. The first 3 worlds have like really specific like minigames that happen like once or twice in the entire world. Or it's more like 2 to 3 times. They don't give you anything extra. They're just fun little mini games that devs decided to put in. Not the mod devs, but like the devs of the original game. They just decided to throw those in there because why not, I guess. They're fun. I'm not reading Zomboss's dialogue. Cool. That Mr. Bossman guy wants our autograph. This can't be good. 2, 1. This is a mini boss level. Every world has one. And after defeating any mini boss level, you get the time key. Ah, that's me. That was me stretching. Jesus. That one gave me chills. Not collecting the key. I mean the stretching. Looks like a courier it had its own delivery to make. Tried to try the taco map. Use the keys to unlock any world. And you can do any of these worlds in order. Any of them. Though, it's recommended that you get done with the first 3. Heck, you don't even have to complete the world. You just have to complete, like, the little mini game. Or the mini boss first. Is he not already? No, he's not. Also, you get the gem plants, the genium plants, by unlocking them in the overworld. After a little demonstration on how they work, in most cases, at least. Ice weeds, chill, and damage zombies. Horrible formation, by the way. Ice puts out fire, so I didn't really think I needed to say that, but I assume it's pretty obvious what the counter to the zombie is. But this zombie is pretty devastating. Burn any plant in an instant. So that's fun. Regardless of health, too. Even if the plant is already on fire, like you would think it's immune to fire or something. Yeah, no. Why that is, I have no idea. It supposed to make me feel good. Great bat there. Yeah, we finished this level. Now you can buy the plant in the sword aisle. Go hook. I found 20 gems. There you go, my neighbor. Because, why? Because I'm crazy. Now they want you to buy the ice weed, but you could just keep the gems and use it for whatever. I'm gonna keep them and use them for whatever. I might save them up for, like, I don't know, some other plant. I might save them up for starfruit, shooting starfruit, or maybe snap pea. Probably snap pea. I really like snap pea. Squishes the zombies. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, Great Buster really isn't much of a requirement in this world. But you're, like, never gonna get to use him after this point, except for, like, one other world that has graves. He just gets rid of graves. And unlike Plants vs. Zombies 1, where you get coins afterwards, he doesn't give you coins. He just gets rid of the grave, I guess. Not all too special. I love the little sound they make, that. I might turn the sound effects down a little more. Because all of that was pretty loud. This level is locked. Wait, reading words. Words. This level is a locked coordinate time. Is a locked coordinate in time. You must take these plants to win. Otherwise, you risk distorting reality. Never distort reality. you'll pull something. And turn those bad boys down, and I can leave the sound up. Honestly, if you guys have trouble hearing me, just let me know. I'll change it up. I didn't even notice. Twin sunflower there. Why is it giving me twin sunflower? That's a really weird choice. But sure. Why not, I guess. Now I can afford twice as many bloomerangs as I normally would. This is a weird level. I felt like it was necessary to use Pea Shooter in this level. He's such a mid plant, like genuinely. I suppose that's why he's called Pea Shooter. He's supposed to be a pea shooter. Not like the wordplay sense. I mean like pea shooter as in he's like a really weak unit that's just reliable on taking down basic zombies, but like still. At some point you do get an upgrade to him. A whole bunch of side grades. And then the upgrade to the upgrade, you get a lot of pea shooters in this game. So much so that there's so much so that there's a whole family, a plant family. I guess I could discuss plant families. Plant families are something that were introduced in the first, like in the second PvZ game after a certain point when they started EAifying it more than it already was, but that's besides the point. Every plant belongs to a certain category or family. For example, sunflower belongs in the enlightenment family, I think. It's been a minute, so like I don't know like exact names of all of them. I don't know what squash was part of. I think he's no. Okay, I'll just go to walnut. Walnut is a reinforcement. Bloomerang is spearmint. All of them are mints, by the way. The whole joke is that they're mints. The whole concept of plant families was actually added due to them creating an entire like stem of plants that use the mechanic. There are these plants called mints, which were added in a recent update. So I guess it's pretty relevant to talk about this in the mod, since they were, recently added in the mod and whatnot. To keep it brief, Mints power up their respective families. So, for example, the Enlightenment will empower Enlightenment plants. Appeasement will power up appeasement plans, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. You get it. Not only that, but upon being planted, they'll also have like a little special ability. Like for example, the appeasement will just shoot massive peas as soon as it spawns in. It will shoot mini peas in all directions, in like 8 directions, and then like 3 massive peas into the lane it was planted in. They're pretty fun to mess around with. Specifically, ones like Bombardment are like really, really good because they just cause explosions and nuke the entire map. Top lane, 100% top. Yep. That should kill them all, right? Yep. But yeah, the family plants, like the families don't really do much apart from just being a means to like being the reason why mints exist in the first place. I didn't get to read what they said. The Pyramid of Doom. I might go into that later. Maybe like on a later stream or something. I don't know. The zombies are coming. Oh, we're gonna continue on. We're gonna press forward. This is one of the win conditions. Basically, you're not allowed to plant on these things. Crazy Dave's mold colonies, as they're called. In this case, it basically just makes it so they're closer to you would have to plant all your plants closer to the lawn. Or closer to where the zombies are coming from. Your defense is basically waved a little thinner. You have less room to work with, that kind of thing. Not really much of a problem for Bloomerang, though. Since Bloomerang pierces targets. Up to 3 targets, which I found to be really weird, because I didn't think that was always the case. I used to think Bloomerang just infinitely pierced until the end of the lane, and then it then the Boomerang came back and hit everything. But apparently not. Apparently it only pierces 3 targets. Which, I don't know, it just feels weird. Maybe that was the case at some point, and then, like, they changed it in a certain patch, and, like, every mod or every iteration of PvZ2, whether modded or unmodded, remake, whatever, just stuck with it. But, like, I swear, at some point, Bloomerang used to do way more than just pierce 3 zombies. It used to pierce, like, the entire lane of zombies. Gem. There's actually a really, really good way of getting gems in this. It has to do with the Zen Garden. If you're willing to re-log in, because, like, most sane people aren't gonna play this game, like, aren't going to beat the entire game in one sitting. Most people will probably do maybe 1 or 2 worlds at a time before, going away and doing something else. This game was meant to be a mobile game after all. It's unrealistic to expect people to like play this game for hours on end. Bok Choy is a funny plant. He's like one of the main faces of PvZ2. Like when you think of PvZ2 and its plants, you usually think of something like Bok Choy. His whole gimmick is that he just punches zombies in the face. That's literally it. That's all she wrote. He does 15 damage per punch. Though damage, when you really get down to it, damage values don't really matter. He does a lot of damage at one time. Not able to take down like a cone or buckethead by himself without the use of without the help of like a walnut. But really good as a support plan, and a plan you really want to put in the front lines. He can only hit one No, he can only hit one zombie at a time. But hey, he doesn't get obstructed by graves or anything, so that's cool. Overall, he's a pretty run-of-the-mill, very typical melee plant. Though for a first world, I think it does a really good job of showing you all the different types of plants there are. Like, okay, for example, you kind of have an introduction to an introduction and a much weaker version of like all of the types of plants that you're probably gonna see so far. Like for example, potato mine is your quote unquote insta use plant. A plant you use and is used up instantly. Though not really. He's more closer to like a explosive plant, or the introduction to an explosive plant, than an instant use plant. Something closer to an instant use plant is iceberg lettuce. And even though he's not insta use, well, he's close enough to it. Most of the time you want to use him as an insta use plant, so he still kind of counts. You got sunflower, pea shooter, walnut being your main defense plant, being a good introduction to defense. You have plants that can lob and plants that can pierce via bloomerang and cabbage bolt, which are two different types of attacks. You have melee. You have the introduction of melee plants in this world, like Bok Choy. And with all those plants, they basically expect you to to experiment a bit. Figure out what works and what doesn't, what kind of plants synergize with each other, that kind of thing. I think it's really cool that they did this. I think it's a really, really neat, unique idea. And it works really well for an intro world. Like, really good for an intro world. You start already developing strategies for these plants that you've gotten. it ends up being fun when you actually find a combo that you really like and stick with. Like, for example, around the time when I went back, I stopped playing PvZ2 for a while because I just kind of fell out of interest of it. Since, like, the original version of the game is, like, absolute dookie doody boo-boo water. Or booty bun cheeks, however you want to say it. It's a really not fun experience version of the game. I highly do recommend playing a modded version of the game rather than the original at this point. Don't get me wrong, it's still fun, but there's so much random mobile game crap that's just shoved in your face that it just gets annoying, you know? Regardless, that's not the point I'm trying to make. What I was trying to make is that a strategy that I came up with when replaying the original version was Repeater and Boomerang. And that carried me through, like, the first 3 worlds. Repeater is just pea shooter, but he shoots twice instead of once. He's just a better pea shooter that's just 100 more expensive. Overall, just a really good plant. But you see what you can do. Bloomerang is a pretty cheap plant, while Repeater is considered a more expensive plant. Even though it's only 25 more. PvZ2 is just kind of funny like that. But the strategy that I like to do is I like to do 1 row of Bloomerangs and 1 row of Repeaters. And that kind of got me through a handful of levels. Specifically, the first 3 worlds and their, what's it called? Last Stand levels. Which we'll probably get an introduction to at some point, so if you play PvZ1, then you know. Alright. Cool. You gonna spawn in more, or... There we go. Scarily close to the exit, that's for sure. Skull. I think, like, all of those were different. Yeah, this is the slightly harder version. Where now there's multiple different icons. There's more than just, like, 3 icons now. There's, like, 4. Like, 4. No, there are 4 icons. They added the bucket to spice it up a little. Honestly, I think out of all of the world-specific minigames, I think this one is probably the... I would say this was probably the lamest. No, it's not. Never mind. That's not true. I think this one's fun, but no, actually, never mind. I just can't say anything bad about this minigame. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's pretty good. You get to do it twice. I just think that... Yeah, I think it's overshadowed. I think that's what it is. I think in terms of the world-specific minigames, this is the one I forget about the most. Because at least the other ones are memorable in one way, shape, or form if they actually have one. I'm pretty sure every world has a world-specific minigame, except for some of the later ones. I know there is. I think there is one world in particular that just kind of doesn't have one. Maybe two. But apart from those two worlds, every other world has one that I can think of off the top of my head, if I remember correctly. And most of them are fun. I will talk about my grievances with one of them later. But not right now. I don't think it deserves the light of day just yet. Ah. Okay, this one has a plant limit. This is one of the other oh yeah, and this world actually does a pretty decent job of introducing the clear conditions that you'll see across the game, across the rest of the levels. Because the rest of the levels will have clear conditions like this. Just saying. I'm gonna get rid of sunflowers. Something a PvZ player would never say. See, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna. Yep, you can be pretty funny about the plant food sometimes. You can kind of use it as like a pseudo instant plant, or like a pseudo insta. You could just place it. You could just like drop it down in the middle of a crowd, and if it has enough power, it basically just destroys that crowd. And if you have the sun, obviously, for it. Also, plant food upgrade. All good things, all good things. Very fun, very fun. This will be the first last in. There will be more last to come. That is so weird of you to say, Dave. So, speaking of last stand levels, the aforementioned last stand levels, here they are. This is one of them. Basically, you get a certain amount, you get a set amount of sun, you're not allowed to use sunflowers, and you have to build a defense with the amount of sun you were given. Some of these can be really easy, and others can be really difficult. It really just depends on if they want to show you mercy that day, I guess. You technically don't have to use all of your sun, but it's probably for the best that you kind of think about how much sun you're using and what you want to use it on. But again, as an intro world, I think it's perfect. I genuinely think there was nothing else I could change about it. It introduces everything. From world-specific minigames to just other stuff. Just generally just other stuff. It's great. I see that bucket peeking down there. I see you peeking, buddy. Also, they usually give you a set amount of plant food that you can spend at your leisure. Something I wish this game did have was an achievement system. The thing is, it does in the mobile version, but you have to be like connected to what's it called? You have to be connected to like the Apple Play store or something like that to actually have those achievements matter. I don't even know if they do that anymore. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, they just might not do that anymore. Alright, one more level and we get repeater. Never add more than 12 plants. Survive without mold colonies. Usually you don't see these clear conditions until the latter half of a world. So you don't really need to worry for the most part. There are some exceptions to the rule, but like I said, for the most part, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. The clear conditions aren't too hard. Sometimes they do get a little crazy, but for the most part, if you're playing the level normally, then you'll be fine. Just be mindful of some of the clear conditions, and make sure to read them before picking your plants. Trust me. I had a friend who lambasted me for not reading the clear condition and bringing a certain plant that is like genuinely awful for the clear condition that was set. Yeah, you could just go ahead, take a leisurely stroll, I guess. Just taking your sweet old time, huh? Is that gonna rise? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so good rule of thumb when planting a potato mine, try and plant it about 4 tiles away from the zombie. If you plant it 4 tiles away from a zombie, then good chances that it'll rise from the ground before it hits anything. Way before the zombie tries to eat it. And remember that you can stall just for a little bit. Not for long, mind you, but you can for a little bit. By letting the zombie eat the potato mine. The potato mine can take a few hits before actually dying, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I remember this level being stupid. I should have put it on the top. I'm stupid. I'm the dumb one. No plant food to save me now. Guck. Oh, good lord. Final sunflower, goodbye. Okay, I got some stuff. Yep. Solo. Also, sometimes your synergy is just gonna go, okay? I've yet to learn this lesson when playing Plants vs. Zombies, but sometimes you just gotta let your synergy go. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, as long as you beat the level. Beating the leveler. Beating the level is so much better than trying to look pretty while doing it, alright? If you want to look nice while doing it, gosh darn it, look nice while doing it. But any other time, just don't. Don't even try. All right, don't even try. Alright, let's see what this is. Survive endangered plants. Yeah, okay. Honestly, I could cry till the cows come home about how good of a world this is when it comes to just introducing things. Wait, when it comes to just introducing all of the central mechanics that you'll see throughout the rest of the game. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I need to do that. I already did. They give you a whole bunch of sun, and you get repeater like right before this level. Yeah, no, it's a telltale sign of them telling you, hey, use this plant, it's good. It shreds the graves. It shreds everything else. It's two pea shooters condensed into one, so obviously it's gonna destroy everything in its path. And it's crazy to think they must have been on some crack or something when designing plants, because they made this plant better. They made a better version of this plant. They didn't need to, but they did it for the gits and shiggles for some reason. They thought it would be hilarious. Honestly, if there wasn't already a better plant that I can think of off the top of my head, this would genuinely be like one of the best plants in the game. At least like early game, I should say. I don't mean early game lawn, I mean early game like worlds. Like, this is one of your best options for a majority of the worlds. Better options tend to be more expensive. There are extra levels too. Gardenless adds a handful of extra levels that were, if I remember correctly, I think most of those levels are levels that were included in PvZ2, the original PvZ2, in one way, shape, or form. So they were just brought back. Speaking of better plants, oh my goat, I missed you. Let me actually, yeah, hold on. There will always be more time to show it. You know, I find this level to be very interesting. I want to know the history behind this level in particular. Mainly because of the plant selection. You see, Melon Pult and Kernel Pult are in the worlds after this one. Or that's when you unlock them, is in the worlds after this one. Pirate Seas and Wild West respectively. So my question is, if I remember correctly, I think the original version of PvZ2, I might be wrong on this. I probably am wrong on this, actually. The original version of PvZ2 had, only had Ancient Egypt. So, did they finish Ancient Egypt Was there only a part 1 of Ancient Egypt that was out at the time? And when they made part 2, they made this level? Or were these plants always there, and these were just hints at what was to come? These kind of questions I really want to know. But I assume I might just be overthinking it. Also, sun upgrade. Okay, we got a lot, actually. I guess now that we have a handful of seedlings, I could talk a little bit more about the Zen Garden. Zen Garden is, well, I mean, I can't really say much more about it than what's already been said. But, I mean, there was a recent change to it. In the most recent updated garden list, specifically. In the original PVZ 2, the one that you could buy on the App Store for free, this was time gated. All of the plants, once you watered them a certain amount of times, or no, you could only water them once, and then they would be time gated until you could water them again. Congratulations, you unlocked Marigold. Sweet! We'll talk about Marigold a little later. I do want to talk a bit more about this. So, yeah. It was time-gated before. For some reason. I don't know why, but I assume it's that mobile game. It was just that mobile game moment, I guess. That mobile game moment be hidden sometimes, I swears. Regardless on that, how it works in Garden List is a little different. Obviously, it's not as time gated. It's still time gated. But it's time gated in the same way PVZ1's Zen Garden was time gated, where after you do it, you have to wait a little bit to actually water them again, or else it would be pretty overpowered if you could just constantly feed your plants like fertilizer, or spray them with spray, or make them listen to music, and they just constantly give you gems and coins. Think of this as a passive sort of income that's like beyond the adventure mode, I should say. Like, aside from the it's side income. It's like a little side career, something you do on the side while you're doing something, and when you're mainly doing something, you know? It's something like that. But there's also an incentive to doing this, too. Remember when I talked about plant families? If you come up here to this little medal, you get plant medals. Every time you fully grow a plant and you dig it up, it'll show this. When a plant is fully grown up, if you dig it up, this icon will be, it will be won't be blacked out. And when it's not blacked out, what you can do... Sorry, trying to think about my words here. Oh boy. Sorry about that. Yeah, but goodbye. What you could do is, once you dig it up, you get a medal. Every time you dig up 3 of a fully grown plant, you get a boost for that plant for 1 level, and by doing that 3 times, you unlock the medal. The medal doesn't do anything apart from being cosmetic, but if you unlock all of these, and you find all of these plants that we have yet to see, most of these plants that we have yet to see, except for Pea Shooter, Repeater, Dandelion, and Peavine, which we don't even have access to these ones right now. Yet. Keyword is yet. What you could do is unlock appeasement. You could do this for every family. Every plant family. So there's enlighten. So yeah, there's appeasement, which is all the pea plants and pea adjacent plants. I don't know why starfruit is here. Genuinely, I'm confused on that one. Most of these I can kind of see as pea plants, but like bowling ball and the starfruit line, it's really weird. Say starfruit line like it's it's Pokemon line, like a Pokemon evolution. I mean, it kind of is, but like whatever. You got the Enlightenment family, which is anything that produces sun or sun related. Magnifying grass is the only exception to this, being an attacking plant that actually uses sun for its attack, but the rest of these can produce sun in one way, shape, or form. Also, Toadstool is a similar way, except he doesn't use sun. Once he's like Chomper, except when he swallows a zombie, he produces sun. We got reinforcement family. All of these are mint puns, just letting you know. These are all the wall plants. These are all the defense plants. And there isn't an umbrella leaf for some reason. I don't know. I've never actually unlocked this plant on my personal file, so I don't really know. There's bombardment, which is all the explosive plants. No exceptions here. All of these are explosive. You got the armament family, which is all the lobbing and heavy damage dealing plants, I would say. So, you see, Cabbage Pole, Colonel Pole, both of these guys aren't really heavy damage. Kind of. Both of these technically do more damage than a pea shooter, but have slower fire rate to compensate, so they're basically the same. Melon Pole is my goat, or is one of my goats. Cantaloupe Pote is also the goat, even though I have never unlocked him yet, but I know exactly what he does. The rest of these are just heavy hitters, and Aki as well. Aki's there. He's just happy to be there. Spearmint are all the piercing plants, so, well, mostly. Homing Thistle is not a piercing plant, but it's either piercing plants or plants that have spiky edges on them. I guess that shoot spikes and stuff. Homing Thistle can home in on enemies, so maybe that's why he's in this one, because that's technically a sort. I guess that could kind of be seen as a form of piercing. Homing, maybe, kind of, not really. Regardless. Got Winter Mint, which is all of the ice plants. No exceptions here. All of these are ice plants. The Enforcement family, which is usually melee. It's mostly melee plants, or plants that have like plants that are just close range plants, basically. Close range plants. All of these are close range plants, except for Guacodile, but he should be used as a close range plant, since he has his main ability is at close range. Pepperpole, no, not that guy. That guy is not the goat. He sucks. The Peppermint family, which is all the fire plants. All of the fire plants, no exceptions here. The Aliments, I think that's ale. Oh, it's ailment. The ailment family, which is poison, mostly. It's mostly poison and most of the mushrooms, I think. It's hard to say. Most of these plants, there really isn't much consistency with a lot of these plants. Some of these are just here to be here, I guess. I would say the ailment family is like a status effects. But like Puff Shroom and Fume Shroom are here and they don't have any special effects. If anything, Fume Shroom should be a spearmint plant since he pierces. And Puff Shroom, I argue he could be an appeasement plant. So can Scaredy Shroom. I don't know. These ones are probably the weirdest category. Filament, which is the electric plants. All of these are electric plants, except for Citron, though he kind of counts. You got Enchantment, which is magic, the magical plants. Not like, which implies that the rest of the abilities and whatnot that the other ones have that seem like magic are not magic. These are the only magic ones. You got Hypnoshroom, Soybean, Intensive Carrot. All of these seem to track, actually. And then there's a whole completely different family of plants that was made for the final worlds of the game when like the game made the final world modern day. Most of these are if not all of these are modern day exclusive plants. You can only get these in the last world of the game because they were introduced at that point. The concealment family, the shadow plants. All of these plants share the gimmick of being powered up when on a shadow tile, which is created by Moonflower, which creates a whopping 9 shadow tiles around it and on its own tile. Nectarine, which does the same thing, but it leaves temporary shadow tiles. And Gloomvine, which plants can be placed in it like a pumpkin or whatnot, and well, it powers up the plant that's in the vine. And then finally, containment plants, which are these stalling plants, or mostly the stalling plants. They don't fall under some kind of element like the like iceberg lettuce or whatnot. Most of these are able to push back, block, slow down, or otherwise hinder zombies in one way, shape, or form. They're traps. And that's all of them. It took way longer than it needed to explain all of that, and nobody's here, so I'm basically just rambling to myself at this point. What is wrong with me? Regardless, let's continue. Honestly, I might just do this entire world and then just end stream if nobody comes. They really like this clear condition. I don't know why they do. My goodness, I need to bring... Hold on. I need to put down the squash. I need to pick up a grade buster. Cause all those grades are ridiculous. Oh right, Marigold. We did unlock Marigold, didn't we? Marigold. I would show it off, but I don't really have the seed slots for it. Basically, in the original game, Marigold is not a plant that you can place down and use. It is a plant exclusive to the Zen Garden. And its only function was to give you extra coins. Every other plant, when you fully grow it in the original version, gives you a handful of coins. No gems, no nothing. Wait, nothing, no more, no less. Usually they give you like 3 gold coins, 3 like silver coins, or like 3 gold coins. Which isn't a lot. But in this version... Wait, no, in Marigold's case... What they ended up doing was... Well... Marigold's special ability in the original game was just making other things. I am so bad with words right now. I am so sorry. I'm out here trying to focus on 2 things at the same time. Blah. No. Marigold's function in the original game was to basically double the amount of coins you would get from fully growing or watering or doing whatever with a plant. Basically just watering it and waiting for it to grow. With that being said, Garden List changes this to where it's an actual functioning plant now, which is unlocked through the Zen Garden as a little nod to it being exclusively from the Zen Garden in the original, which I think is a really cute detail. I really like that. It's a very cute detail. But overall, it's almost identical to how it is in the original game. It gives you coins, which isn't a bad thing. Another passive source of income, but unlike the first game, there are way less opportunities to use it since the game is way more aggressive about like zombie spam and whatnot, especially in the later worlds. but it does still, even though it does function basically the same, it does have a special ability. It's able to turn into like 6 different variants of itself, which I think is really neat. Now, these variants only actually do things. Oh my god. Go away, everybody. Alright, Jesus. These special variants only really do things after a certain point, so. Or after they're eaten by zombies, so it's not all too useful. But it's useful enough, I guess. I need to repick my plants. It's useful enough, I guess. It gets the job done. And again, its primary function is just to give it coins. So the fact that it has a secondary function at all is already pretty staggering. It's already pretty unique by their standards anyway, so. For what it's worth, they did a good job actually translating it into its actual gameplay, or into actual gameplay. It can just barely kill a conehead by itself. Okay. Shoot. Crap. That would have been the best time to bring squash, I'm gonna be honest. But screw it. I'll take what I can get. I should have revived that first. Gosh darn it. No, never mind. It's cool. He's got it. Thank goodness. Yeah, some of these levels do get kind of difficult. If not difficult, then a little tricky. Again, I don't think this is around the time where they started, like, basically making the game impossible to push you in the direction of microtransactions yet. Though microtransactions were still here at this point, and they were pretty bad. especially as an introduction, or what is essentially an introduction to the series, and would go on to be, well, let's be honest here, a main staple of the series since this game. We're gonna do this one. You see, it was so bad that original plant they added the classic plants back. They added plants like they added favorite plants like snow pea, squash, and torchwood into the game. The problem is that they were exclusively they were paid plants. So plants that you got for free from in the first game, you just didn't get in the other one. What you had to pay for in this game. And that already turned a lot of people off from the original game. Also, now it's gotten a little bit harder. Now there's one more symbol being added. The clover. You can rise up from the ground now. Like, at any time now would be nice. I need a bucket. Give me a bucket. God, this is exactly what happened last time. Oh my god, there's no sun. Gotta clutch up. Gotta clutch up. Sun! Okay. This was a cone. I need a cone. Cone. Alright. Bucket, bucket. Clover, clover. You. I need a cone in the sun. Cone. Clover. Alright, sun. Skull? Alright, skull. Alright. Yep. And your son. Yep. Okay. Let's see. That's a sun. I need a sun. Okay. There's the sun. I think this is a skull. And then... Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see what they have to say now. Okay, they don't have to say anything about this one. Yeah, because this is a custom one. This is actually not in the original game. Mummy Memory. If you like that minigame, well, by golly, you can keep going as long as you can. Genuinely, that is such a fun and great idea. And I'm surprised that they never capitalized on it. Matter of fact, I want to go on a little tangent for a little bit. They got rid of the Mummy Match minigame in the original game. I remember going back and playing it. And they just completely outed that. They completely got rid of it. For no reason. It honestly does not make any sense why they did this. But they did it. Can't say they didn't. We're gonna put marigolds on the front line. Why not? Yeah, why not? They produce gold over time. They give you coins. Purple marigolds over time, and they poison zombies when killed. Yeah, they turn into a whole bunch of different forms. But yeah, small sub tangent aside, that was. It's just annoying they got rid of that mini game for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't know what incentive they had to get rid of it. This was a bad idea. Let me try it again. Maybe I could just double up on repeaters? Question mark? I think boomerang just does a little too little damage. Nah. I can double down repeaters. I should have grabbed walnut. Hold on. Let me grab the nut real quick. The nut. Oh, okay, so it's random. Let me try and get a better roll this time. That's kind of stupid, actually. That's really stupid. Yeah, notice the first 2 times. I have enough for 2 more, it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm not gonna go over every plant food. That's like over 80 plant. That's over like 100 plants that have plant food. Probably isn't that much. It's probably like 50. No, it's a little too generous. I mean, nowadays it's definitely over 100, but like as of right now in Gardenless, I think it's only like I'm gonna I'm gonna go off on a whim and say 70. About 70 plants in total. Uh, yeah, they got it. Dang it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they got rid of the they got rid of the mummy match minigame. And I don't like that they did that because that was such a good minigame and they didn't need to get rid of it. There was no reason not to keep it in. But they just replaced those. I'm pretty sure they just replaced them with just regular, basic, boring levels. Which sucks. But like whatever, I guess. I don't know. Have you ever wondered why your neighbor David hungered so? What the secret ingredient in the taco would drive his desire? Could it be that he needs your brains as much as we do? What? No way. I would never eat a brain taco. But I don't remember what's in it. God, such a stupid subplot. Every world kind of has like this silly little plot to it. Kinda. I say plot like it's consistent. It's not. Like, in the slightest. Anyways, this is the introduction to his own boss fight. Welcome. These things are basically a fest of spamming down plants and hoping and praying to God that you don't mess up. Honestly, just throw symmetry out the window. Just spam them. There's no point in having synergy because he moves and jumps like a sporadic psychopath. His attacks consist of jumping around, never standing still for more than like 2 seconds, and a charge attack that you can block by play food. And I do mean play food, like any plant. Maybe iceberg, maybe not iceberg lettuce, but regardless. If he runs into a plant fooded plant, he'll get knocked back. Is basically what I'm trying to say here. Also, they give you the most generous amount of plant food for this. And they're constantly supplying you with new plants. Eventually, they do get harder, but, like, not really. Honestly, just keep consistent, keep the pressure on. That's really all I can say. Sometimes you want him to get rid of lanes because he can kill he can kill his own troops as well. That's about it, though. And that's all she wrote. There's just a massive hole in my defense. Wonderful. Like I said, really, do not care. Just pretend that synergy doesn't exist when you fight these guys. When you fight Zalboss. Wait a minute. There was never any meat in that taco. I still have too funky on my beard to prove it. Too funky. Crazy Dave. Well, that just leaves more range for us later. We'll find you again in another wear and another win. Now we go on to the level extensions, in which there are a staggering 15 of them. One of them unlocks a completely new plant and a completely original plant to PvZ2, but not original plant in general. I'm pretty sure that is actually a... what is it called? Oh my god. Yeah, the extension levels are basically harder versions of the original levels. Well, not the original levels, but like they're harder versions of levels. I'm gonna see how far I can get. If I can even get anywhere. Honestly, now more than ever would be the best time to use power-ups. You get an infinite amount of them. You can turn this off too, but like... I guess we never got to see this dude's ability. He just creates graves. That's it. Tomb Raiser. Well, I suppose in this they're called tombs. But still, it's the same thing. Okay. Fuck you too, then. I'm not dealing with that. Yeah, this was definitely meant for, like, different zombies. Stop doing that! Stop it! I didn't mean to place that there. Yeah, I can take it down. It's fine. I just realized how many flags there were. Oh my god. That is a lot of flags. That is a criminal amount of flags, actually. That is... Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're gonna see me spam a lot of power-ups, I'm gonna be honest. Mostly because I'm stubborn and I don't want to try and, I don't want to wait to have to unlock some of these cool plants that I'll probably never use again after I get all the plants done. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually know what order you're supposed to do, like, most of this content in. It can be pretty obvious from time to time, but, like, still... Sometimes it just isn't obvious to you at all. Stop doing that! No! Everybody dies! I do not. Look, they're gonna throw zombies at me like that. I'm not gonna play fair, okay? If they're not gonna play fair, I'm not gonna play fair. Don't let the zombies trample the flowers. Okay, this is one that we actually didn't see. So not every clear condition is here, but like most clear conditions. Technically, I'm not gonna count this as part of the tutorial because it's not. I don't think squash is gonna make much of a difference. I'm probably still gonna be spamming power-ups. At least until I unlock that plant. You don't get a lot of ice plants in this game, I should say. No, don't stop on it. Hi there. Yeah, that was just unnecessary. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, no, I see you. Stop it. Move your fat, large self. Also, I'm pretty sure these extended levels are custom made. Like, they weren't from the original PvZ 2. So keep that in mind when you're playing. If you're playing Necromancy! What the heck? Alright, hold on. Wait a second. No, hold on. We're not supposed to see Necromancy yet. It was going pretty good, too. Dare I say, it was going peachy. Up until you. You did, man, just like you. Yeah, punch him in the face. Destroy the tomb. Yep. Punch that guy in the face. Boom. I don't like that. That's so unnecessary. Uh-oh. Let's come down there. Alright, let me squash you. Alright. The rest of this I can take care of. Yeah, you're definitely gonna need some advanced cheesy strategies for this. Luckily, the game gave me something so I could cheat. Look, I'm not proud of it, okay? But I really want this plant. I know it's gonna be like 50 gems, but I think I can make up for it. I'm just gonna do the first 3 levels. It's fine. Oh, that's a vampire. Aha, better not come to my. It's almost Halloween. Aha, you better not come to my house or else I'll suck your blood. I'll suck your blood. Ha ha. Shoot. Alright, so we got a locked and loaded level. I locked and loaded level with Pea Shooter, the new plants, as well as a handful of other stuff. I actually cannot wait to see what this plant does. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what it does. And I'm hoping it's good. It seems to cost 200 sun, so I'm hoping it's halfway decent. Okay, it is in... Okay, well, no duh. I was about to say it's an ice plant, but like, no duh, it's an ice plant. And it has a chance to freeze. Okay, so it's just kernel pole. It's just kernel pole if we were on a budget. It's kernel pole at home. It's like, Mom, can we get kernel pole at home? Honey, we have kernel pole at home. Kernel pole at home. Actually, it might be better. Cause like this freezes. No, cause kernel's butter lasts longer. Hold on, wait a minute. I wonder if the damage value is the same too. I wonder if it does the same amount of damage. Probably does. Oh, never mind. It does AoE splash. That's AoE splash freezing. Excuse me? Oh yeah, no, I don't think I was supposed to get this yet. that's kind of strong. You fill the screen with like 2 of these things. It's just game over. Thank God this thing is a multi-lane. In fear of it being too busted. At least I think it does splash. Does it do splash freezing? It definitely does splash damage, that's for sure. Yeah, it's definitely doing splash damage. I think it's doing splash freezing. Oh, this is nasty. Oh, I love this. Oh, it was so worth cheating to get this. It was so worth the overextending. Holy crap. Yeah, it does AoE. It does AoE freezing. That is diabolically good. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't know if they're doing a lot of damage or not, but they're definitely doing something. I might overextend a little bit more just to get Dandelion and Peavine. Maybe just Dandelion. I might hold off on Peavine a little bit because it's not like I'm really gonna get many chances to use Peavine over Dandelion. But then again, I don't know. It increased Peavine is interesting. It increases the damage of any plant in the Peasmith family. They seem to do like pea shooter damage. Maybe even less than that, actually. Yeah, it seems like they're only really doing pea shooter damage. I'm gonna check the almanac. I'm genuinely curious. You. What damage you doing? What damage you saying? That's 30. Pea shooter is 20. So it's slightly more than pea shooter damage, but like still. That's not a lot of damage at all. Then again, it does have the ability to. Yeah, it does have the ability to Yeah, no wonder you were doing so little damage. You only do 20. All of these plants actually do 20. Except for cabbage, who does 40, but attacks slower. Yeah. Not a bad plant. Not a bad plant at all. I might snag it. It might be the first plant I actually get with gems. That's 40 gems. I could afford that, I think. Hold on. I can afford 40 gems. Again, once it starts snowballing, once the Zen Garden starts snowballing a bit more, it'll be a lot better. Trust. Yeah, it's already starting to snowball. Because you start getting more and more plants from this. And the more plants means the more coins. And the more coins you get, the more gems you'll be able to buy. Eventually, these guys just straight up give you gems after a certain point. So it is a good idea to keep them in the Zen Garden for a little bit before actually, like, using them to boost. Honestly, I've been picking up these sprouts without even thinking about it. Like, I don't even remember getting, like, 8. I don't remember picking up any in, like, the past, like, the last stretch of that entire, like, ancient Egypt. I don't remember grabbing, like, any of them. But, like, as soon as you grab them, you really should just use them. It's not a lot yet, but again, it snowballs really quickly. Also, you can only sprout up plants that you get. The marigold thing was a was the only exception to that rule. So I have the basic attack on ancient Egypt. You're gonna give me plants? You're gonna give me plants. What plants you gonna give me? Okay, you're giving me Wild West plants. You're giving me my goat already. Alright. so you're just throwing everything. You're just throwing random shit at me. All right. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Okay. Sure. Sure, because that's fair. Alright, gotta triple up that lane. Dang. Yeah, Peapod has the silly... Peapod has a silly little quirk of being planted on itself. 5 times! That's more than a Gatling Pea. Significantly more costly than a Gatling Pea too. But, like, still. Why do you keep throwing them, like, right there? Why are you doing this? That's not fun game design. What do I know? That guy better keep throwing. What? What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Fungal nuggets. What the heck is that? Brother! Brother! I don't even know anymore, bro. What the what? The what? The what? Was that just instant burn? Yeah. Alright, sure. Whatever. I guess. What do you mean you just casually put a Gargantuar, one of the strongest zombies in the game, just casually places him in the 4th lane. Or in the 4th column. With similar characteristic tends to co-occur. Meet the Appeasement family. Set plant. Dandelion. One of my favorite plants. Honestly, one of my favorite plants this entire game. In PvZ 2, I mean. I fell in love with it the first time I saw it. It was great. Dandelion is really simple, and I really do mean simple. Fires a slow-moving projectile that can attack, and they can attack in adjacent lanes. That is it. Do a hefty amount of damage, but for what it's worth, they're pretty good. pretty strong combo. Very strong combo. But it gets stronger than that. Trust me. P-Vine is the cornerstone of one of the strongest strategies in the entirety of PvZ2 history. Also, I think all of these are special levels. P-Vines boost all pea shooters plants from the Pizza family. Sometimes affecting those which are not even peas. Said blood. Yes, Primal Pea Shooter. One of my favorites. Ba-ba-dum-ba-dum. Yes, even yes, you too, Split P. You can get in on the action, I guess. Nobody likes Split P. That dude nobody invited apparently. The final wave of zombies is coming. So yeah, it's basically that was just showing. I think a lot of these levels are just showing like how great the appeasement family is, how extensive it is, all the plants that go into the family and whatnot, and how they synergize. We can resist yours to blow it all away. It'll make them passive for a while. Okay, so some of these dandelion has a very unique gimmick that I wish more plants had. It actually interacts with another plant. You'll see what I mean in a minute, because I assume that's what it's trying to introduce here. Why? Oh, you know what? Sure. Why? Why? Why would it use? Okay. You know what? Whatever, man. You do you, broski. I don't know why it didn't just give me iceberg lettuce. It would have done the same thing, but like, sure. All right, so now we get to the gimmick. That's not the gimmick. Here it is. If you use any kind of blowing plant, whether that be blover or hurricane or any of those kind of plants, you blow away the dandelion's like dandelion things, the little seeds on the dandelion's head, and it blows all of them in one big attack, but it leaves them, like Dave said, or like Penny said, it leaves them passive for a little bit. Which means I can't attack. It's such a cool mechanic, and I wish more plants interacted in this way. Not many of them directly interact with each other like this. You have some that synergize well together, but not outright like what's going on here. The effect is more enhanced with Blover over Hurricane, which is the blue guy. Because Hurricane only does it in one spot. Blover does it in multiple lanes. Yeah, it's such a fun idea. I just wish more plants did this. Interacted in this way with another. That was taking way too long. But like I said, cool idea, really neat gimmick. One of the only plants that has that kind of gimmick to it. That like works in that interacts directly with another plant. Rather than it just complementing each other's like downsides or advantages, it straight up just interacts with another plant, and I think that's awesome. Alright. This one's weird. This one doesn't have dandelion. This one's a Peavine level. So what you want to do... Also, appeasement... Appeasement vine. No. Peavine doesn't have to just be placed on that. It can be placed on anything. Any plant is applicable to be placed on by Peavine. It just works. It just actually functions with that. Also, I don't think Peavine counts towards that mechanic that I thought was really cool about Dandelion. For one, Dandelion did it first. Second, they didn't have to make an entirely like whole new mechanic for Peavine, wait, for like every plant for Peavine to work. They had to overhaul every single plant in the game for Peavine to work. Since they had to be put in their respective families, so on and so forth. Oh right, Banner Zombie. That's a alternate version of the Flag Zombie that's just faster. That's it. He really doesn't have any other special gimmick to him. Right, Red Stinger has a very interesting gimmick to him as well. Every plant kind of has its own gimmick to it. Some are better than others. Oh, that's a new zombie. Flaming Explorer Zombie. He's just a faster version of the Fire Zombie, which I say that like it's no big deal, but it's a really big deal if he manages to gain your back line. Or you're just not ready for him. Or if he just spawns out of nowhere, because that guy is fast. Like, really. Like, marathon winning fast. Let's do that again. Oh, I barely did anything. Right, Red Stinger. That's this red guy's name, by the way. Red Stinger. Red Stinger, his gimmick is that depending on where you place him on the lawn, changes his form. He has 3 different forms. He has his attack form, he has his kind of attack form, and he has his defense form. The defense form is only for the last 3 tiles. The middle 3 tiles is his semi-defensive form, and the first 3 tiles are his attack form. In his semi-defense form, he'll only shoot 1. And in his defense form, well, he's tanky. He has about the health of a walnut, I think. Something like that. Something like that. Anyways, that's Dandelion for you, baby. I'll say, these levels were a lot easier than the squash ones. I'm starting to regret my decisions because this is a regular level. I like it when they did like event levels for these instead of just being regular levels that just have an insane amount of zombies in them, like this one. I see chickens. Chicken zombie. Oh, it's a locked and loaded level too. Joy. All right, I think I'm seeing the gimmick here. Bot swarm. What the fuck? All right, hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold the phone. What do you mean that was the second tile? They dropped those at the second tile. I guess that's why they gave you Blover. Hooray. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Okay. Bot swarm. Yep. That's why they gave it to you. Also, he'll always target the guy that's there. So you don't need to worry about like him hitting the wrong thing, or because he's in an adjacent lane, because they're in an adjacent lane, he won't go after them. That's not how he works. No. God dang it. And I just let all of my things go. Okay, wow. That was embarrassing. Okay, this is the line. This is gonna be a bit more tricky. Not hard. I don't think it's gonna be hard. It's just gonna be tricky to get the gimmick down. And some of these levels are pretty well made. I should probably slow down. I don't want to accidentally miss the Imp Storm. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. Row here, row here. Yeah. So we're getting that production on these. Again, these are all gimmicks we haven't seen yet, but eventually we'll see them, don't worry. If not this stream, then like another stream I do, if I ever stream this game again. I think, unlike Hercule, I think Blover selects a random amount. Like, random ones from the cross the lawn and blows them, while the other one doesn't do that. I might just start putting those on the sunshroom. You know what? I'm gonna start putting these on the sunshrooms. Again, there's no reason not to. You don't want those guys. You do not want them. Trust me. They are way too tanky. Okay, there are three flags to this. I think they do one tile splash damage too, but I'm not entirely sure about that last one. Crap. Get them out of here. Also, the vines act as an extra sort of protection against other plants. Or against zombies. Not too much. It's about the same health as like your standard what's it called? Your standard attacking plant, but like still. It's not too bad. In all my times of playing this game, the frames have never gotten this choppy. P-Vine seems to be a glitchy little fella, huh? Usually the game runs smooth as butter. Oh, right. Oh my god. Yep. Christ! Oh my god! Game, I understand the gimmick. I get it. I get it. That's a lot of Gargs. That's a lot of Gargs. Whoopsies, all Gargs. All Gargantuars. There is nothing but 5 Gargantuars in this final wave. The Garg spam is diabolical here. Nasty, if you will. That is the wrong direction, guys. Guys, Guys, that is the wrong set of dandelions. Yep. Uh-oh. No, screw this guy. There we go. Ugh. Okay, look, I panicked, okay? I messed up the flow, and my flow state was just gone after like halfway through when the imps started falling. I couldn't keep up. Okay, let's see what we got here. Given plants, survive only with one plant that you got. Ah, I know what this is. I see this. This is another one. This is another special gimmick level. This is actually for the Chinese edition of PvZ2, which is completely different. Seems they changed it, though, a little bit. Normally, he attacks really fast and has a lot of damage to him, but it seems the gimmick here is that you have to power him up with P-Vine. A really nice twist on things, actually. I really like that. Every time you kill a zombie, this meter goes up. And eventually, if you get enough, the meter fills up and you upgrade your plant. Very nice, very easy, very awesome. And if you add Torchwood into the mix, it becomes even better. I'm gonna kill the child. There we go. And you and your stupid balloon. Screw you. Huh. Okay, you know what? That works too. That was a Zamboni. Okay, so there's actually two versions of Gatling P in this version. Wait, in this mod. There's the Chinese version of Gatling P, which is the one you see now, and Mega Gatling P from the original PvZ2. I think it's cool that they added both. Usually mods choose one or the other, but I think it's pretty cool that they chose both. I wonder if they're going to use Mega Gatling P here. See, I don't know if Mega Gatling P has the same gimmick that he does in the original PvZ. Or in the original. Okay, he just shoots faster. Okay, oh, so this is his last upgrade. Just a Primal P shooter shooting at the speed of light, apparently. Sure, I'll take it. A novel concept. Don't touch my torchwood. You get your grubby mitts away from my torchwood. Don't you poke my torchwood. Oh my god. There we go. Get a bit more control. I was about to say, homeboy can wait. Him and his balloon are not important enough. Oh no, this wasn't the last one. There's one more after this. Please tell me it. Please tell me it uses the really funny strategy. It would be such a shame. It would be such a crime if they didn't use it. Oh no, that's Big Wave Beach. If you don't know anything about Big Wave Beach, just know that it's a. You know what? It's. I'm gonna be honest. It's super hell. That's all. It's super hell. This entire world is super hell, incarnate. This is one of the only. This is one of no. This is the only world that has the female zombies, which is weird. I always found that kind of odd. I will say, the music is totally tubular. I'll shut up now. Why are they in the water? Oh, you know what? He might be outside, actually. Hold on, fellas. Still not back yet. Moment. Alright. I'm back. Alright. I'm back. I returned. Let's continue. With this absolute fucking eyesore. I'm sorry. God darn it. I need to stop swearing. Oh, okay, that works. Wait a minute, why are they allowed to equip everybody with the helmet? I didn't even notice that. Wait, that's a little unfair, don't you think? That's a kooky crazy zombie right there. Yeah, no, you could just equip anybody with a helmet now. That's... Okay, that's like genuinely unfair. Come on. Okay, that is something I do have a complaint about. If you were to do this with, like, if you're using any of the vine plants, actually, if there's any plant that places over another plant, if you want to change what is inside that plant, you have to plant up, like, for example, I can't, there's some shroom right here. Well, okay, that dead sunshroom. Let's say this one right here, actually, yeah. Oh, okay. He needed, like, what? Where did you come from? Okay, I can see why they gave you that. I can see why they gave you Magnetrum now. It didn't make sense at first, but I didn't know the big fat king guy was gonna, like, do that. Goodness. I think we've finished exploring this rift. That's it? All the plants from the appeasement family. Actually, plants from one family don't merely gather in one place. Let's roll towards the appeasement part 2. Which there is. Unfortunately, appeasement part 2 is all the way in modern day, so, like... yeah, that's this world. That's this world right here. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's it for all the stuff I could have gotten done. I technically could get more stuff done, but at the same time, oh, it's 5 more plants. I'm telling you, man. I know I've already said this, but like it adds up. It adds up over time, and eventually, it's gonna snowball into like you like watering and feeding your plants, and then eventually you're gonna get like so much money from it in gems. So then you'll have way more options on things things to do with, or yeah, way more options. That's what I'm trying to say. Goodness. Let's see. Boomerangs and walnuts. And the potato man. Uh. Hmm. Might as well unlock the next world. Pirate Seas. Oh, it actually shows you a preview of the plants you can get. Okay, wait, does it do it for all of that? It does. Okay, take a little sneak peek at the rest of these. My goat LeBron. There's my goat here, and then there's LeBron James. There's Prime LeBron over here. Out here killing and taking heads from zombies and stuff. Okay. Alright. That's an odd selection of plants for that world. Let's see what we got here. Starfruit makes sense. I think that's sweet starfruit. I can't remember the name of it. That one makes sense. Apple mortar does not make sense. Apple mortar should be in Pirate Seas. 100% should be in Pirate Seas. I'm not sure where you should be. But you shouldn't be in Far Future. And then the special plants here are solar tomato, holly barrier, pumpkin, and gumnut. All of these guys make sense. I already saw a preview of these ones. Yeah, also, yeah, they brought back Doomshroom and Ice Room in this. And they actually have their own special functions and everything. Well, except for Doomshroom. Doomshroom just does the same thing he did in PvZ1. It just goes boom. He makes a big boom. Mistletoe? In Big Wave Beach. Mistletoe and Big Wave Beach. Alright, hold on, wait. Why in Big Wave Beach? I know you had to put her somewhere, but you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. Sea Shooter is actually a newer one that was recently added. Oh, let's look at that ice bloom. It makes sense that a lot of the fire plants are here. Oh, okay, so the pea plants are not modern day anymore. I swear they used to be a modern day. But now they're Frostbite Caves. This is a Piece with Pam Family Part 2. Mega Gatling Pea, or Chinese Gatling Pea. Wait, Gatling Pea, Mega Gatling Pea, and Torchwood. What is Mega Gatling Pea's function, though, in this one? Because Gatling Pea, the Chinese version, this Gatling Pea fires really fast. 4 peas at once, fires really fast. That's all she wrote. In the original, this Mega Gatling Pea had the chance to plant food itself, and it still does. Also, this is implied to be the Gatling Pea from this is now its own plant. Or it's implied that this is the Gatling Pea from the first game. This one, on the other hand, during a certain explosive reasons, became lightning. Meanwhile, a pea shooter on a Gatling was at the origin of our superhero, and that's the origin of our new superhero, Gatling P. Either way, I love both of them. I love both of these guys. They're awesome. I think these two are still unavailable right now. These three, I should say. These three plants are unavailable still, for now. You see, eventually they're gonna add Sky City, and once Sky City is in here, then like, yeah. But yeah, no, okay, that makes more sense on what Mega Gatling is. But I feel like, okay, it's a little deceiving. This one here is a little deceiving, like the description for it. You see, this version of Gatling P actually has a special ability. Both of them have a special ability. Apart from just shooting 4 Ps and having the same damage as a pea shooter, just 4 times over, with times 4. This Gatling P, well, you already know this Gatling P, I just went over, it has the ability to randomly plant food itself, and it also upgrades itself, shooting 5 Ps instead of 4 after being plant fooded. Which the random plant food does count as. But this one, it doesn't say what it does. If you give it plant food, it gains 3 Gatling guns on the back of its helmet, and every time he fires, and remember, he fires faster than the other Gatling P. Every time he fires, he's able to hit zombies in adjacent lanes, though the angle is a little weird. It's straight diagonal, not like 3-peater, which is down 3 lanes. Lost City. All of these make sense, except for Aloe. And Zoidbead. Zoidbead should be... Zoidbead should be here. Kung Fu is completely... I want to say it's completely new, but it's not. This is from the Chinese version of the game. And most of these plants... Okay. Complaining time. Why is Snoopy here? Like, I did play through, like, most of this world. I've gotten up to Solar Sage, which is this one right here. And it kind of makes sense why Snoopy is here. Because the gimmick actually, one of the main zombies that you see is, like, this imp on a rocket. And you have to use ice damage to counter it. It still doesn't excuse why Snoopy is technically locked behind. If you're playing this in order, Snoopy, like the 4th, like the 7th plant you get in the game, like the 5th or 6th plant you get in the game. No, it's definitely the 6th plant. It's somewhere around that point. It's like the 6th plant you get in the game is locked behind like the 6th world in this game. That's the 4th. That is the 4th to last world in the entire game. It's locked behind that for some reason. Why? I don't know. It just is. You know, it's got me wondering. Hold on. I want to say it's completely new. Okay, yeah, no, it is good. My audio is fine. Yeah, mixtape tour. It makes sense that Cactus and Electric Blueberry here. I guess Strawberries can be here. It's not like you could really go anywhere else. And Blooming Heart as well, I guess. Actually, that makes a bit more sense. Rather than night type beat. Meteor flower. He kind of just he exists, I guess. And then this entire lineup, except for these two, and this one, these three plants. Okay, and okay, these four, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 plants are the only ones that are not, but the rest of the rest of this lineup is shadow plants, which makes sense since the entire gimmick of shadow plants was made in this world, was introduced in this. With the latter half of these coming in later. So, for what it's worth, let's just unlock Ancient Egypt. And we will do that one next time, I suppose. Shiver be timbers, I've always wanted to do some swashbuckling. And I've always wanted to poop a poop deck of my own. Yes, let's go. I hate for him too impulsive. I'd hate for him to improvise a poop deck here. That's funny. He would poop on the deck. That's silly. Okay, but yeah. I guess that's it. I would say thanks for stopping by, but nobody actually stopped by. So I guess for now, I guess this is it. I suppose I'll see you guys next time then. Until we see each other again, this has been Jazzy Shroom. Wait, hold on. There we go. This has been Jazzy Shroom, or Man McMahon, signing out. See ya.